everyone practicing, right? So our role starts from Jenkins. So as a DevOps engineer, so always we connect Jenkins server, always we work on Jenkins server, right? Yeah. So in the last session, we discussed about Maven, Sonar, Nexus, right? Today, we are going to perform a project which is a CI/CD project. CI/CD, continuous integration, continuous deployment, or continuous delivery. So far, any questions, anyone? Online guys. So far, any questions, anyone? So prerequisites to create and configure CI/CD, right? So what are the prerequisites to prepare the CI/CD? So every project team currently they are using CI/CD, right? Yeah. So how can we configure? How can we create the CI/CD? So here, first one is required AWS account. Second one is required GitHub account. Third one is Java or HTML code required. Fourth one is Jenkins server required. Fifth one is Maven integration required. Maven installation required. Sixth one is Tomcat also required. Tomcat server also required, right? So we have already AWS account, GitHub account, Java not there. So HTML code is there, right? Jenkins server also available. Maven installation also available, right? So we need a Tomcat. So here we require Tomcat. This we need to prepare. Okay. So these are all available. AWS account. Yeah, these are all available. Right. Now go to AWS account. I quickly started because there is no time, right? So 7:40 already. That is why quickly I started. So this project takes nearly 1 hour. That is why. Now let us go and start our Jenkins server quickly. Start instance. Developer develop the code on their local Git. So once development is completed, they push the code to remote repository, which is GitHub. Once the code is to GitHub, our next tool here is Jenkins. So Jenkins, what is Jenkins, anyone? What Jenkins will do? CI/CD. Jenkins is a CI/CD tool. Yeah, it will integrate all the tools, it will communicate all the tools by installing plugins, right? For example, we have code here. This code finally we need to deploy onto any application server, which can be Tomcat or JBoss or WebLogic or any application server. This is Tomcat. So if you want to deploy this code on Tomcat server, so whatever the code we have, yeah, this is a raw code, right? So here we prepare the jobs, we run the jobs. Once we trigger the job, this code will be pulled from GitHub to Jenkins. This is raw code. This raw code will not understand by application servers. That is why we integrate one more tool, which is Maven. Maven is a build tool that generates artifacts, right? So war file, jar file, ER file. War, R, jar, R, ER. Okay. That war file, this war file, we can push to respect to Tomcat. Here we deploy the war file. So this is the project today. Okay. In live. So in local Git, whatever the code developed by developers, that we can deploy onto respect to Tomcat. Right. This is the project. Right. Now let us go back here. Manage Jenkins. Yeah. Now I want to create one job here. CI CD project. Freestyle. You can take freestyle. Okay. Select Git here. Give the GitHub URL. Same code we can use here. Simple web app code is there, right? The same code we can use here. Copy this. Paste here. Go down here. Select add build step. Invoke top level Maven targets. Select the Maven version. Clean. Install. Package. Three goals. Apply. Save. These are the three goals. Now I want to trigger the job. The job is running properly or not. I want to check. Yeah. The job is success, right? Fine. So now here, look at this, everyone. AWS account, GitHub account, Java, HTML code is ready. Jenkins is ready. Maven installation also available. Now let us go and prepare the Tomcat server, right? So Tomcat, so Tomcat server is a application server, right? If you want to deploy any application, if you want to run any applications, if you want to access through browser, we require one application server. On top of that, we deploy the respective, we can integrate respective plugins we can install, and we can integrate, and we can, yeah, add some users. We can modify some users, right? So that I'll show you. Now, so Tomcat configuration already performed, right? When we perform the Tomcat configuration, Tomcat we already performed, right? While working on AWS. In AWS, Tomcat, how to download the Tomcat, how can we configure the Tomcat, discussed, right? Same process we can perform now. For example, yeah, now I require a Tomcat server. So how can we create, configure Tomcat? Let's try to understand quickly. Yeah, so you can take one new server, launch instance, Tomcat server, take Ubuntu. Second AMI, you can take here Ubuntu. Ubuntu is the stable version. For Jenkins, Tomcat, we always use the Ubuntu. P2 micro, keep a security group, 8 GB storage, one instance, launch instance. Yeah. Now the Tomcat is in running state. So copy public IP, open mobile stream, paste here, IP, and a username, Ubuntu only. Yeah. So select the pair. Now we are able to connect, right? Clear the screen. So Tomcat required a Java also, because the Tomcat developed in Java. That is why first we need to install Java before configuring Tomcat. First we need to install Java. Before installing Java, first we need to update, right? Sudo apt-get update space hyphen y. Now the internal repository is updating. Okay. మీకు వద్దా? ఓకే, నాకు ఓకే. వేసుకోండి. అలాగా వస్తున్నారు. నాయిస్ వస్తుంది, తగ్గించింది, పర్లేదండి, వాయిస్. So you have any classes, morning classes? You are not attending the session. College. Okay, okay. So are you following the videos? Fine. Now I want to install the Java. So how can we install Java? Sudo yes, get install OpenJDK -8 star space -y. So if you want to install any respective version, particular version, you need to give like this, or else you can install the default version, right? Yeah. Now the Java 1.8 is installing. Online, everyone following, right? So in real-time projects also, we can build the CSCD like this. So we don't get chance to build the CSCD in real-time projects. This is only one-time activity. Okay. Yeah. Now, once we install Java, after that, so we need to download, download Apache Tomcat. So this is the official URL, Tomcat. Click on this. Now, Tomcat 9, I want to download. So here, tar or zip file can download. Right click on the tar file, copy link address, go to console here, wget is the URL. Link address. So now Tomcat is downloaded. Now if you check here, Tomcat is, I do one thing. Space okay. Yeah. So Tomcat I downloaded in this path, right? So now mv this path and space. What I'm doing here, that file I'm moving to the respective path. Now if you check ls here, slash root, right? Slash root 1 2. Okay. mv slash I do one thing. So here, because the root required here, otherwise we'll get some errors. That is why we need to switch to root and we can download quickly. Now LSA. So look at this everyone. Now here what I will do. Yeah. Now I want to untar this. How can we untar? Tar space hyphen xv zdf space, use the APA and use the tab. Now the Tomcat is downloaded. Now if you check ls, look at this everyone. Apache Tomcat downloaded, right? Now go to Apache Tomcat folder. So this we already performed, right? This activity. That is why I'm moving a bit faster. Okay. So go to this Apache Tomcat folder, CD Apache Tomcat folder, ls here. Now CD bin directory, ls here. Now dot slash shutdown dot sh dot slash startup dot sh. Now Tomcat started here, right? Now if you check, you go and check here, copy the public IP, go to browser, paste here, shift colon 8080 is the port. Now we are able to access the Tomcat, right? Yeah. So Tomcat is accessible, but here the problem is Jenkins is running on 8080, Tomcat also running on 8080, right? So if you want to integrate Tomcat with the Jenkins, so we need to change the port number. Otherwise, jobs will be failed, right? So Tomcat port number should be changed. How can we change the Tomcat port number? CD space dot dot. Now ls here, cd conf directory, ls here. Now we need to go to the server.xml. So here, if you want to change any port numbers, we need to go to the conf directory, configuration directory, right? I mean conf directory. So now go to this file, server.xml. In this, we can find the connector port. Okay. So now how can we edit this file? Yeah. So by using VI, we can edit the file. Server.xml. Go down here. Look at this server.xml. Insert, give the 9. 8090. I want to modify into 8090. Escape, save and quit. So once we save this, again we need to restart the service. cd space dot dot. Now go to bin directory where the commands are available. Go to bin directory. Now here dot slash shutdown.sh dot slash startup.sh. Now the Tomcat started. So once we start the Tomcat, refresh here, it will not be accessible. Why it will not be accessible? Port number has been changed, right? So that is why we need to modify the port number into 8090. Now we are able to access. Up to here it is clear, right? We already performed this. Now I want to log in Tomcat. So by using Manager app, click on this. Now it is giving 403 access denied, right? So why it is giving 403 access denied? Yeah, so we need to fix the errors. Errors are there in the Tomcat. So in this file, there are errors in this file. Context.xml file is there. In this file, we have errors. Those errors we need to fix. Understanding, right, everyone? Those errors we need to fix it. Now. Next one. So this file we need to edit and we need to fix the errors. Okay. So context.xml file is available in the Tomcat, but where the file is available, we don't know. The path we don't know. The path we don't know, right? So that is why what we have to do. How can we check the path? How can we get this file? Sure. So I don't have the path where the file is located. How can we find? Anyone? There is a find command, right? Find. Find space slash space hyphen name space file name, right? File name is, look at this one, context.xml. So these are the 5 files available. These are the 5 files available. In these files, we need to check and we need to fix the errors. So how can we check here? Now, vi open this path. So entire path we need to give, not only this context.xml, entire path we need to add here and we can check here. So here there is no errors, nothing. Okay, you can close this. Next one, second path, vi. Look at this one. Scroll down here. There is a line which is the value class name that should be disabled. Value class name should be disabled because so in value class name there are some errors here. Those will not be supported by manager app in Tomcat, right? So insert. So how can we disable this? Look at this, everyone. So they gave example here: less than escalatory mark hyphen greater than to close this. So if you give this, this will be disabled. This value class name will be disabled. Insert less than escalatory mark hyphen. Go to end of this line hyphen close like this. This value class name should be disabled. Okay. Yeah. Now escape, save and quit. Now next one, vi, third one, open this file, go down here, insert less than escalate mark hyphen, go to this end of this line, space hyphen, close, escape, save and quit. Next one, vi, fourth line. Last one. Insert less than escalate remark hyphen hyphen. Escape, save and quit. What I did here, in the context dot value class name disabled, right? Yeah. Once we disable this, make sure the service should be restarted. So how can we restart service? How can we restart service? Dot slash shutdown data search dot slash startup data search. Service restarted, right? Once service restarted, now go back to the URL here, enter this. Now click on manager app. So what? Yeah. Now if you click on manager app, it will not give any errors. Now it will not give any errors. Click on manager app. Now it is asking login credentials. No errors. No 403 error. Right? Yeah. So we need to provide the credentials here. Okay. So we don't know the credentials. We don't have any credentials for exam. Okay. Yeah. So here I prepared some scripts. That scripts we can use. Look at this. So whatever the steps we performed, all the steps are available here, right? So here I prepared the scripts here. These are the scripts. Yeah. So to log in manager app in Tomcat, we require credentials, right? Logins. So we can create the users or else you can add the scripts here. The scripts you can add into the Tomcat so that we can use the credentials, deployer, Tomcat secret, like this. This credentials we can use. Understanding, right? Everyone following, right? Don't confuse here. Okay. Yeah, this scripts, I just want to copy this scripts, go back here. Now, that scripts we need to copy, paste into the file where we paste, I'll show you. ls here. Now go to conf directory, configuration directory, ls here. Now, tomcat users.xml, this file we need to open. In this file, we need to paste the credentials. So now, vi tomcat users.xml, open this file, insert. Here we need to paste the credentials that we can paste here. Copy this and paste here, right? So spaces, we need to, spaces should not be available here. Spaces should be removed. Only one space. Don't give them more spaces. Only one space. If you give more spaces, you get the errors like this. Escape, save and quit. Okay. Yeah. Once we save these credentials, once we save the steps, again go to bin directory cd bin. Again, we need to shut down the service and start up the service. So every change service should be restarted, right? So now what I will do. So in this, we have different types of credentials available. The scripts directly we paste into the Tomcat, right? Instead of creating the users. Understanding, right? Instead of creating, instead of adding the password to the user, we prepare the scripts and we add into the server so that you can use the credentials here. Okay. So now, if you want to log in this Tomcat, I want to use credentials Tomcat and secret S3 CRET. This credentials I want to use. Right now, Tomcat
This meeting is being
also go through the
recorded.
recording and you can practice. Both Jenkins and Tomcat are running on same EC2. No, different EC2. But the IP addresses are different for both. Yes, IP address different, nothing to worry.
But if it's you both Jenkins and Tomcat are same issue.
Same EC2, right. Not same EC2. Different EC2, right?
But why then
both Jenkins and Tomcat are running on same.
Can you start Tomcat and Jenkins in same server?
And that is not recommended. That is not recommended. Tomcat should be separate server. No, he is asking. Tom.
Would you put different port number? No?
Different port number, yes. Port number. Normally, that is not recommended way. Even, yeah, so Tomcat should be separate server because application. So if you want to try, you can try on single server, but that is not recommended way. Can we change the Jenkins port number instead of Tomcat port number? No. Jenkins is Superfast Express, Tomcat is Normal Express. So Superfast Express is going on in the same track. Normal Express, what they will do? They change the track. They divert. Am I correct? So Jenkins is a core production server. In real-time projects, Jenkins is the core production server. Tomcat is normal application server. That is why we can change the Tomcat port number. We should not change the Jenkins port number. But in same server, right? Jenkins or Jenkins. Jenkins or Tomcat. One server. I will need other server to. You can try that. You can install Tomcat and Jenkins on a single server. You can try, but that is not recommended. Okay, so you can try that. Step more charges, na? Database server. But in real-time projects, we use the separate. Both are different servers. We can use different flavors, not only Ubuntu. Jenkins should be Ubuntu. Tomcat, you can use RHCL, CentOS, or whatever, right? But Tomcat also, Ubuntu is the stable. Okay. Now, so Tomcat is ready. Next, what we can do here? Next, integrations. How can we integrate? By installing plugin, right? So go back to Jenkins. Go to dashboard, go to manage Jenkins.
This meeting is being recorded.
Login Jenkins. Now, once we restart the Jenkins, we need to perform some configurations. So plugin is installed. Now we need to configure. Go to manage Jenkins. Here, go down here. Look at this, everyone. Click on credentials. Open the credentials. So here, click on global. Not here. Click on system. Click on global credentials. Now click on add credentials here. So what I'm doing here, I install the plugin. Now I'm configuring. I'm integrating Tomcat with the Jenkins, right? For which click on add credentials here. Go to credentials, open the system, click on global credentials. Now click on add credentials. So here we need to add the credentials. So we have different credentials available right here. So here we already used this credentials, right? Now I want to use this to integrate deployer, right? Deployer. This credentials I want to use. Now, username, deployer, password, deployer. Now ID Tomcat, Tomcat logins. So description also I want to give the same. Click on create. Now the credentials created here. Credentials created. Understanding right, everyone? Tomcat credentials created here. Now go to dashboard, go to job, CSD project job. Click on configure. Now go down here, go down. Look at this, everyone. Yeah. Add build, post build actions. Post build actions. Deploy war ER to a container. This is the plugin. So once we add the credentials in credentials tab, after that we need to go to the job configure. So click on post, add post build action. Here deploy war ER to container. So here before that we need to do something. Leave this page. Jenkins. Go to job configure here. Yeah. Now, so look at this, everyone. Just a minute. So something we need to add here, something. Yeah. So once we install the plugin, now go to the job configure. So now var ER, right? Here uh, there is a var ER. Click on this question mark. There is a path here. So we need to provide the path here. Var ER path should be provided here. Var or ER path should be provided. We don't know the path. We don't know the path. So in that case, what we will do? We just copy the extension. Only extension we need to copy. This extension we can copy here, paste here. So this var ER path we don't know. That is why what we will do? We just copy the extension here. Now, context path not mandatory. Context path not required. So click on add containers. So here we can select the Tomcat version. Look at this, everyone. Tomcat 9 we deployed, right? We configured, right? Select the Tomcat 9 version. Now credentials, it is asking credentials. Which credentials? Tomcat credentials. We added the credentials, right? That we need to select here. Look at this. So we are integrating Tomcat with the Jenkins, right? That is why we require credentials. The Tomcat credentials we need to add here. Select this. Now URL, Tomcat URL. This URL you can just copy up to here. Paste it. That's it. What I did here, I just added the war file extension and a context path not required. So Tomcat version selected here, credentials. I selected which I added here. So Tomcat URL. Now no need to add anything here. Click on apply, save. That's it. Integration started. Okay. So next step. Once we integrated, so after that, go back to the Tomcat console here, clear the screen. Now cd space dot dot Now ls here, look at this, everyone. There is a there is a web apps folder is there. Web apps folder. CD web apps. Look at this, everyone. Yeah. So I am in Apache Tomcat folder and also a web apps folder. In this web apps folder, we have 5 folders are available. Everyone following right online? In this web apps folder, 5 folders are available here. 5 folders, right? Now what I'm doing here, now I want to perform something which is I want to run this job. Go back to Jenkins. Now I want to run this job. Once I run this job, along with these 5 folders, one war file will be deployed here. Now what I'm doing here, so I want to run this job. Once I run this job, so Jenkins go and pull the code from GitHub to Jenkins and convert into war file, deploy onto respective Tomcat server. Okay. So now build the job. The job is success. So once the job is success, what will happen? If I give ls now, one war file will be available here. Look at this. One war file deployed, right? Web app dot war deployed, right? What happened here? So once I trigger the job, the code will be pulled from GitHub to Jenkins and convert into war file, deploy onto respective Tomcat. Understanding, right? Yeah. Now, once deployed, now what I will do, take the Tomcat public IP, paste here, shift column 8090 slash web app. Look at this. Look at this. So this is the code we stored in the, we prepared the repository in the GitHub. This is the code. This is the application, test application. So Flipkart shopping website, make sure everyone practice the CSV project, something I added here. Go back to GitHub account, go to web app folder, go to SRC source folder, click on index.jsp. Look at this, everyone. Look at this, everyone. What is this? Flipkart shopping website, right? So now home, about, product, pricing, contact. Now look at this. The text which I added here. What is this? Right? So this is the sample test code, HTML code that I deployed onto Tomcat. Understanding, right, everyone? Right? Now, what I will do, next step, what I will do, I just ping google.com here. Next step, what I will do, I want to modify this code. I want to modify this code in the GitHub. Okay. So click on edit here. Click on edit here. Tomorrow we'll start Docker, something I added here. Okay. Now what I will do, I commit the changes. Commit the changes. In the GitHub. In the GitHub, I modified the code. Now what I will do, I want to run this job. I want to trigger the job again. Build now. Our job is running. Once the job is success, what will happen? Jenkins pull the code from GitHub to Jenkins, convert into WAR file by using Maven, deploy into respective targets. So now if I refresh this, what will happen? Right? So normally in real world, in real projects, so developer develop the code in their local gate, right? For example, this is Flipkart server. Flipkart server. Tomcat server is the Flipkart server, for example. So if they want to add any changes on the Flipkart application, developer modify the code in their local git. Once development is completed, they push the code to GitHub. Jenkins take the code, convert into WAR file, deploy onto Flipkart server. So that changes will be reflected. Understanding that, everyone? Yeah. Now, so here the changes reflected, right? Modified. But this is, yeah, normally in real-time projects, we should not perform manually. We should not do manually, right? So once the changes happen in the GitHub, automatically Jenkins take the code and trigger onto respect to Tomcat. Okay. Yeah. So here,
So webhook is there now.
webhook is there. Yes, webhook is there. So here, yeah, I'll show you something here. Now, here I configure. I don't want to use the webhook. I want to configure PolSCM. So other concept is the PolSCM we discussed, right? PolSCM concept you understand, right? While working on Jenkins, I explained PolSCM. Types of jobs. What are the types of jobs available in Jenkins? Stable or success jobs, unstable jobs, failed jobs. Unstable jobs are PolSCM we use, Pol, 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 SCM. I explained that. Okay, I'll show you that. Practically we'll see. Okay. So now what I will do, I don't want to trigger the job manually. I want to configure PolSCM so that whenever changes happen in the GitHub, automatically Jenkins trigger the job. Understanding, right? Now go back here. Go to job configure. Go to triggers. Now look at this. Poll SCM. Option is there. Poll SCM. Click on this. I want to schedule the job. I want to schedule the job. So every 2 minutes, I want to run this job. For which cron tab guru. Go to cron tab guru. So look at this. Every 2 minutes, I want to trigger the job. Click on this. Now this schedule I want to configure. Copy this. Paste here. What I'm doing here? Every 2 minutes. So I gave every 2 minutes, but whenever the changes happened in the GitHub only, Jenkins trigger the job. Whenever changes happen in the GitHub, by the time apply, save. Once applied, save. Now in the GitHub, I want to modify something. Go back to GitHub here. Yeah. So Docker reset or something. Okay. Click on submit. Commit the changes. Commit the changes. So whenever a changes happen in the GitHub, automatically Jenkins trigger the job. That is PolSCM concept. So look at this, everyone. 3 jobs completed. Next job will be started automatically. Look at this, everyone. I don't want to start the job here. Fourth job will be started here. Just wait for 1 minute. Fourth job will be started. Automatically, Jenkins trigger the job. Look at this, everyone. So wait for 1 minute. This will start the job, new job. Fourth job will be triggered automatically. Because the full SCM functionality is whenever changes happen in the GitHub, then only Jenkins will start the trigger the job. time. Road Sheffield. Calculation is correct or not? Look at this. Job is running, right? I did not run the job. I did not run the job. So now, refresh here. Refresh. What happened? Updates. Yeah, changes happened in the applications, right? Yeah. So one more time, I'll show you quickly. So I want to modify one more time here. So job will be triggered automatically. Docker and Kubernetes is Kubernetes are Docker Z resume container pool. For example, commit changes, commit changes. Whenever we automatically Jenkins start the job. 4 jobs completed here. Next job will be trigger automatically. Look at this everything. I don't want to start the job here manually. So look at this. OLSM automatically start the job. Look at this everyone. If the job is started, right? If the job is started, right, everyone, automatically the job started. Once it is a success, what will happen?
Changes.
These changes will be updated. Look at this, right? Yeah. So whenever changes happen in the GitHub, automatically Jenkins trigger the job and pull the code from GitHub to Jenkins, convert into WAR file, deploy onto respective Tomcat. But in real-time projects, in GitHub account, so we should not change the code, should not update the code, should not modify the code in the GitHub. But where we can modify the code? Okay. We means developers. Developers should not modify the code. GitHub, local Git only, they need to modify the code. So for which what we will do quickly, yeah, this repository I want to pull into my local. In the local, I want to modify the changes, right? So here, go to simple web app, copy the URL, go to workspace, CI/CD. Here, what we will do? Git bash here, git init here. After that, git clone repository URL. Now I want to clone to my local. Now once we clone, now if you check ls, there is a simple web app, right? Simple web app, ls, go to web app, ls, go to src, ls, go to main, ls, go to again web app, ls. Now look at this index.jsp file is there, right? Now vi index.jsp. This is the HTML code, right? This is the HTML code. You've got a shopping website. Okay, so here I want to modify this code. Okay, I want to modify this code. So for which what we will do, click on I, insert mode, click on I. Now, yeah, so here Docker and Kubernetes. Okay, just give Docker Kubernetes. Okay, something. Okay, escape, save, and quit. Once we save this, once we modify the code in local git, what we will do?
We do commit.
Add into yeah, yeah, staging. First you need to add into staging, right? Yeah. So once we modify the code in local git, you need to add into staging area. Command here is git add space dot. After that, git commit -m commit message. After that, once we commit this, git push -u not required origin to master. I want to push this code to remote server. Done. So once the code is pushed, automatically Jenkins trigger the job here. So 5 jobs completed, right? So the code modified in the GitHub. So now 6th job will be started again. Look at this, everyone. Automatically, 6th job will be started. This is not our time, UTC time. Automatically, 6th job will be started. Whenever the changes happen in GitHub, automatically Jenkins configuration, configuration one time configuration. Yes. Sorry, DevOps. Yeah, one time configuration. So normally architects they configure. They configure. Okay, so later on we can run the jobs. And convert line to respective website, left respective Flipkart server or Tom or Amazon shopping site servers. Uh, yeah, we can use different servers, not only Tomcat. Yes, yes. You can deploy on any server, right? Yeah, so fine. So one more time, we can modify this code in local here. VI index.jsp. One more time, I want to modify the code. Set session at 7. Okay. Yeah. So now escape, save and quit. Now next what we can do? Git add, git commit, -m, commit message. Now git push origin to master. Once we push the code, what will happen here? Yeah, the code is pushed here. Now, next job will be started here automatically. Seventh job will be started. Everyone following right online? What we are doing here? Yeah, just go through the recording and go through the document. I'll share with you this document and you can practice this. This project is very, very important project, CSCD project. Okay. Every organization, every project team, they're using the CSCD. Okay. Yeah. Seventh job will be started now. Wait for 1 minute. Seventh job will be started. Every 2 minutes, yeah, someone asking the question, Rishikesh. Yeah. So PoleSM functionality is whenever changes happen in the GitHub, not every 2 minutes. Look at this, job is started. So whenever changes happen in the GitHub only, the job will be triggered. We configure 2 minutes every 2 minutes, but it will not trigger every 2 minutes. Whenever changes happen in the GitHub, right? Job completed. Now go and check this. The change will be reflected, right? It's clear, right, everyone? Any questions here, anyone? Anyone having any questions? Online students? Is it clear to you, everyone? If you have any questions, you can raise your hand. Classroom students, any confusions? No, right? Nikul? Yeah. So it is chala core project. This is very core project. Make sure everyone practice this. Okay. So make sure everyone go through the recording and go through the document. I'll share with you this document. I upload it to Google Classroom. So you can download this document and recording and you can practice this. Integrations are very important. Configurations are very important. Okay. So if you get a chance to configure, same steps we perform in real-time projects. Okay. Fine, clear, right, everyone? We can stop here. Make sure everyone practice. Tomorrow we'll start at 7 a.m. Okay, so tomorrow we'll start Docker. Docker is the core tool, advanced tool. Tomorrow we'll start Docker. Fine? Yeah. Thank you all.